What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Week 15 in the NFL. I've got my predictions on who I think is going to win this week. But first, let's do a little recap. Thursday night football, we went with the Rams and we came out on top because they came out on top. And then last week, we ended up going 10-3 on our money line picks. Not great, but not bad. Moving forward, starting the week off right with a win. So let's try to get that elusive clean sweep. And who we starting off with? The Washington Commanders taking on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are a beat up team, and the Commanders looking poised to hit the playoffs rolling. So with that, I'm going to pick the Commanders. Next, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Chiefs are a hard team to beat, but the Browns have been an upset team this year. So I could see this game going either way. But until further notice, I'm sticking with the Chiefs. Next, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Tennessee Titans. This is two bums fighting over a dollar. So short and sweet, I'm going to take the Bengals for the win. They need a miracle to make the playoffs, and I think they can do it. Next, we've got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans. This should be a good matchup. These two teams have playoff hopes, but who will deliver? I think Tennessee's defense is too strong. Give me Tennessee for the win. Next, we've got the Ravens taking on the Giants. Short and sweet. The Giants are a dumpster fire. Ravens for the win. Next, we've got the Jets taking on the Jags. Another game where two bums fighting over a dollar. I think this game could go either way. On paper, the Jets should win. But the Jags are a feisty team that seem to upset teams when nobody's looking. Hopefully, the Jets' defense can score a touchdown. I'm going to stick with the Jets on this one. Jets for the win. Next, we've got the Cowboys taking on the Panthers. I think this is going to be a fun game for the Panthers and a not so fun game for the Cowboys. Give me Panthers for the win. Next, we've got the Bucks taking on the Chargers. Another great matchup. Both these teams looking for playoff presence this Christmas. But I think the Grinch will visit the Bucks and the Chargers will come out on top. Chargers defense is just too strong, and hopefully they can get the Chargers defense for a touchdown. Give me Chargers for the win. Next, we've got the Colts taking on the Broncos. Both these teams are still fighting for playoff bids, but I think the Broncos are a better team, having a better defense. Give me Broncos for the win. Next, we got the Patriots taking on the Cardinals. The Cardinals have to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Patriots just trying to complete the season. I'm backing the Cardinals for the win on this one. Next, we've got what I think is going to be the best game of the week. The Bills taking on the Lions in Detroit. And this looks to be like an early playoff or Super Bowl matchup. So, depending on, I can't remember if they're both AFC or NFC or what. But the Lions coming in on a 12-game winning streak. And the Bills coming off of 2 losses, I think, 1 or 2. So, with this one, I'm going to stick with the Lions to win. Next, we've got the Steelers taking on the Eagles. And I think this is going to be a sneaky good matchup. And in my opinion, it's got upset written all over it. We've got 2 crazy stats to look at. Russell Wilson has never lost to Philadelphia, but the Steelers have never won in Philly. They have, or not never. They haven't beaten, the Steelers haven't beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia since 1965. So those are some crazy stats to look at, to think about. But with the Steelers being 10-3 and Mike Tomlin looking good, and I think he's got his team on the right track. So give me the Steelers for the upset on this one. Next, we're going to the Packers Seahawks in Seattle. Another great matchup because both these teams are fighting for playoff bids as well. It's going to be a scrappy matchup on both sides of the ball, but I think the Packers are a stronger team. Give me Green Bay for the win. And then finally, we've got a doubleheader for the Monday night games. We've got the Bears taking on the Vikings and the Falcons taking on my Raiders. First, Bears taking on the Vikings, 4-9 against 11-2. I think this is a no-brainer. The Bears are just struggle city, and the Vikings have been lighting up 5 passing touchdowns last week. Minnesota for the win. And then finally, the Falcons versus the Raiders. In all honesty, the last 4 weeks, the Falcons have been falling apart. The whole team's been falling apart at all the seams, losing their last 4 games and missing out on the playoffs. And this Las Vegas team only winning 2 games this year. So who's going to win? Who do I think? For this one, I think Cousins is going to struggle again, and hopefully the Raiders can get a pick 6. So with that being said, I'm going to back the Las Vegas Raiders for the win. Those are my picks and predictions for money lines. I'm going to have some prop picks and a couple parlay bets, so keep an eye out for that video. Much love and Merry Christmas to all. It's almost that time again. Week and a half, we're almost there. Bearded Bandit